And guys, thank you very much for being here. Office hours at Entity. Today is Thursday, April the 9th. Can't believe it's already April the 9th. Love your background, Lori.
Mm-hmm.
That looks really cool. So
Always
as you know, yeah, absolutely. So as you guys know, this is pretty much an open format. I do start with a little bit of information of something that I found in the digital marketing industry. So with that in mind, I am going to share my screen. Dun, 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 dun. Where is it? So this was an article, more so than an article. Where are you here? As usually I have way too many windows open. I can't find this. Is this it? Yes. So this is an article by Google. Okay, and oh, the music's still on. Hold on. There you go. Okay, so this is an article by Google on how different brands are actually addressing coronavirus. Most of them are doing it through video, and I found this really cool. For example, Cottonelle is sorry. So the first thing, of course, addressing customers' concerns, right? So Cottonelle did a video that is talking about, obviously, you guys knew about the whole paper selling out and whatnot, and their video sort of addresses that. It was a big concern for their customers. Not only that, but as you can see, they've actually pledged 1 million and 1 million rolls of toilet paper to United Way worldwide. So that's fantastic. McDonald's, just like a lot of food chains I can imagine right now, there's concern of their consumers of actually, people touching food, right? And then they're getting delivered and you eat it, whether that's safe or not. So obviously McDonald's is addressing some of the precautions they're taking to make sure that, that everything is safe within their restaurants. Ford pivoted into a solution. And by the way, we'll send this link so you guys can read the article itself and watch the videos. They're actually very cool. They changed the ads. Now they're talking about, as you can see here, built to lend a hand and built for right now, which I think is a fantastic play on their usual slogan. Let's see, Walgreens talks about how they're actually having experts, right? Obviously they're in the forefront being part of the healthcare industry. And they actually have a little explainer ad talking about how people can take advantage of their online services. And something that I think we can all do is how we can communicate, and something we've been talking about, right, over and over through this time, is how we can communicate, bring people together. I love how they put it, how Google put this here, right? Bring people together, but physically apart. So yeah, so how IKEA has done it. And again, I won't explain, I won't go through this as much. We'll send the article if you guys are interested. I won't take much of your open question time. But of course, how IKEA did it, how Guinness is doing it as well, and how they're actually sticking together. They're all doing it through video. As some of you know, I'm a very big fan of video. We recommend that to a lot of our clients. We've had many successes with video, and I think it's a way to bring that personality, your personality, out to the world. It's a way to bring those people that you want to connect with into your world, so they can be, you can relate, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it that I have for today. At the beginning, I thought I would start with sharing what some major brands are doing, and with that, open question moment. Let's see, what kind of questions do we have today? Please unmute yourself. If you don't feel comfortable unmuting yourself, you can ask it on the chat window, and I'll be happy to address any questions we may have now, or any comments, or anything you guys want to share. I know Ben is not muted right now. I don't know if he's going to say something, not say something.
No, I can.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. No, I didn't see you muted, so I thought you were going to jump in.
Oh, no, I've just been open line just in case, you know.
Oh, okay.
I know I've had really good chats with, is Luigi on yet or no?
No, he's not on yet.
All right, he was going to. I know we were chatting about it, but anyways, I just had a good chat with him and had great chats with Lori and Angie about socials this week. So, yeah, I think we're kind of all in the same boat. If Luigi was here, you'd agree too that we're all just kind of starting in this little foray of getting our online profile out there, right? So, I think everybody right now could even still just like I know where I asked about that a couple of weeks ago, but just like general strategies and where to kind of get started. I know Angie, we were chatting about just where to we all have social media platforms, but like to really start building that authority and starting to think about content, any specific strategies or good places to kind of get started and get going, I think would be helpful for everybody.
Absolutely. You know what? I'm going to share with you. I was just on a presentation with a team that is actually sort of in your industry, and I'm going to share with you guys a tool. I'm just making sure that there's nothing proprietary here. As you guys know, I'm fairly big on the whole proprietary information. Actually, hold on. Let me make a copy of this and I'm going to close this here. Cool. I can share the screen now. So something that I've talked about and that we practice here in terms of what kind of content to put out there. Marketing 101, you go back to what your audience is, right? So actually, let's do that with you right now, Ben, since you asked the question. What is your audience? Who is it that you want to communicate to?
As you know, I have right now my focus is on two different areas, right? So there's either prospective recruits, so someone who wants to get into my industry as potential, business or business associate or job type of situation, or clients. So right now, it's going to be anybody that needs, let's say, they want some protection, so they want to get some life insurance for their family, or looking to get into the stock market, so looking to invest. So from a client side, there's those two product line type of basically what I'm focused in on right now, as well as a potential prospect in terms of a associate.
Okay, cool. So let's keep that in mind. Just as a side note, just know that Facebook, excuse me, and a lot of advertising and social media platforms do have restrictions on what it is that you can say. I know you have restrictions as well, so they sort of match. Of course, you can't say, guaranteed 100% return. As a matter of fact.
I definitely won't say that.
No, we know that.
As a matter of fact, if you are about to say that, maybe we should talk offline. No, but jokes aside, so Facebook sort of goes in with what those guides and policies are as well. So just keep that in mind. But we'll set that on the side for 1 second. I just heard a beep. I just don't know. Oh, that was Bailey. Okay. This is a little tool that we use for all our customers. Okay, and this is what we use to plan our content. A lot of the challenges that I find when I'm talking to people that are just coming out into the social world, and sort of goes with your question, is, well, what is it that I'm going to say? What can I provide? What value can I provide to the world out there? On one hand, and of course, the second part of that is, well, how do I do it? It's going to take too much time, right? So what we do for all our clients, we actually plan our content a little bit ahead of time. Now that we have a little bit more time, I don't know, maybe take 4 hours every Monday or 4 hours every Friday, and at least go through what it is that you want to say the week after that, right? So this is a little bit of a spreadsheet that we use. I'm going to show you what it is, and then I'm going to show you a simpler version that I just did for our presentation today. What do we put here? And I'll just run through this fairly quickly. You always have to keep in mind what your goal is with the piece of content you want to do. Do you want people to engage with it? Do you want people to like it, share, comment, smiley face, heart emoji? Do you want to provide information? And is that your goal, right? Or do you want to do conversion, which means that you want to tell people to buy your service or your product? Now, remember, a lot of the conversations, and I understand this is a little bit of a different time, but generally speaking, a lot of the conversations we're having, we have moved into a place where I believe in the building of relationships more so than transactions, right? And I think especially in your industry, and I think probably in a lot of the industries of the people that are here right now, it's about building that relationship, right, and having that conversation or starting that conversation. So just keep that in mind. Maybe now, maybe a little bit different. There is an opportunity, for example, for you, Ben, maybe for recruiting right now.
Yeah.
Sadly enough, a lot of amazing talent has been let go.
Yeah.
There may be an opportunity here to
Oops,
do a little
help.
bit more of this conversion in terms of people that may be thinking about their mortality right now, right?
Yeah.
Sadly enough, with the news and everything that's happening, and I don't want to be somber here, but sadly enough, it's it's in the forefront how many deaths are happening, right? And it's something that's in the back of our minds. So maybe the message can go towards that, and the message excuse me, the message can be geared with that goal. But let me continue. So what we do is we set up a goal. What is it that we're trying to do with a piece of content? We set up the content type that we're going to do. Is it going to be a blog post? Is it going to be created content? Is it going to be a link or a blog post from somebody else, right? Are we going to do a live video? Are we going to do a long video, right? A 10-minute video explaining something very detailed? Are we going to do a short video? I missed short video. Oh, it's up here. That's why. A 1 minute 60, I was going to say 1 minute or 60 second. No, a 1 minute, 30 second, 45 second video of something that's going to happen, right? The next thing we do is we decide what type of post we're actually putting out there. Is it going to be a joke? Is it going to be an industry update? Is it going to be a cartoon? Is it going to be a question? I don't know, Ben. What are you doing this weekend? What do you have planned for this weekend?
Do you literally or for my content?
Yeah, no, I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
Yeah. It's like, because I'm always working. Yeah, no. Honestly, just trying to stay COVID free. Nothing. I can't do anything, man. I can't do anything.
Okay, so
home with my girls and my furries. That's it.
There you go. Okay, cool. So I broke down those different categories in this Google document just so that you can see.
I like it.
Excuse me. So it's a little bit easier to see. Something we use as a framework is that for every 15 piece of content, 10 we want to make it so that with the goal of people engaging with us. 4 we want to give information, and only 1 is the one that says, "Hey, buy my service," right? As I was mentioning, because times are a little bit different, your ratio may actually change. Your ratio may change, and that's okay right now, right? But what I hate people seeing, and I don't think anybody appreciates, is when you just see posts of buy my service, 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 call me, call me, call me. Who's gonna say like, right? Well, maybe your family, your immediate family, but probably even they're tired of seeing the same post of buy, buy, buy. So we're trying to create a conversation. We're trying to create a connection with people, and this is a framework that we work with, right? So let's go with this. Right. So you said on the weekend you are going to spend time with the family, right? So maybe you're gonna watch a movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a name of a movie.
We're probably gonna watch Trolls 2.
What's that?
Trolls 2 comes out tomorrow.
Trolls.
Trolls.
Oh, Trolls.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not. Okay, Trolls 2. That's cool. So take a picture or take a little video of Trolls 2 coming out. Maybe some popcorn. Boom, you have your content for Monday. Your little video is going to be like, this weekend we were so excited, or for tomorrow. It's tomorrow Friday. Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. Or maybe you have your content for tomorrow, or for Saturday, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your little video, 30-second. We're so excited to watch Trolls 2. Let's appreciate the amazing family time we can all have right now. What did you do this weekend?
Right.
Right.
So as an engagement piece to get people to.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah. That's it. Right. And it is. I won't lie to you. Right. It is a bit of a especially when you're starting. It is a bit of an uphill battle. To start getting people engaging with you, and I would recommend putting a few dollars behind it, maybe $20 for next week.
Mm-hmm.
just to reach as many people as you can, because right now you don't have a following, right?
Yeah.
So you need to go out of that circle to get people, and then maybe ask in your networks, would you mind sharing my post to your networks? And I know there's something a lot of us were talking about yesterday, right? So this is where I would get started. I always think that there has to be, well, it doesn't have to be, but if you schedule things out, if you plan, just like what you do with your business, right? If you have a business plan, you have a marketing plan, it's a little bit easier to be able to put certain things into action than it is if you don't have a plan. And by the way, I'm sorry if you guys hear the growling. As usual, Reeve and Jazz decided to start playing right now.
All good. You might get the same on my end. They just happen to be asleep. They happen to be
No
asleep
worries.
right now under the table. So.
And you know what? This is awesome part.
That's just my stomach.
Angie, that was funny. No, this is the awesome part of the time we live in right now. We're actually bringing people into our homes. We're actually sharing what we're doing, right? I was doing an interview on Monday, I think it was, or Tuesday, talking about social media, and same thing. Next thing you know, my dog is on the window, and the person that I was doing the interview with, her son that was playing Fortnite, I think, or some video game, started yelling and getting angry. That is who we are, though, right? And it's okay, at least in my opinion, it's okay to be able to bring people into your homes and your environment. It makes you more human. It makes you more relatable, right? Just right now with the dogs, and of course I know Angie has a dog, but her immediate reaction was like, no, it's not my dog, it's actually my tummy. But it's that kind of planning, going back to the original point, is that kind of planning that I think we all need to start doing now, so that we're not on the day of, oh my God, what am I supposed to do today? What should I put out there?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Does that answer the question?
It does. Yeah. Just like, I know, again, Lori and I were chatting about it, and she's already started to try and develop a strategy, but it's, I'm a planner as well. So it's obviously helpful when I have like, okay, yeah, what is the goal this week? And I like the idea of that spreadsheet and, planning it out and on the different platforms. And like I said, still getting to that point of producing video content. And the plan eventually will be to just film, little 30-second to 60-second little info bites, right? And then cut them up, add the graphics and add the, outros and all that stuff. And then, then you can just release them or schedule them to be released at whatever you can, right? And just that becomes less daunting when you don't have to do it all the time, right?
Absolutely. And then what you can have there is you can actually have a list of the type of content that you need. And I don't know how you work, if you do to-do lists or Trello, whatever it is that you use. Now you know what you need by what date, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even if you have to stop, say if you need to create a nice graphic or get a picture, something like that, right? Now you know that by next Monday, you need to take a picture. So if you can't do it right now, you have something that is going to guide you to get that done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I know, Laura, you were raising your hand.
Yeah. Something that I have realized, yes, we're only a few weeks into this, but originally when I came at the idea of doing the video content that Ben and I were having a discussion about, I just decided I don't, of course I'm going to be showered, I'm going to do my hair and put my makeup on, best front forward. But as far as doing graphics and being so fussy with it, because that's not my forte, I decided at the beginning that I'm just going to jump in and try. And then as I did that, I then thought, you know what, I should really do some research on some of these editing options and da da da. And then I got myself freaked out in my own mind going, okay, well, I'm going to download Camtasia and I'm going to hit the Canva and get the graphics and all of these things. So then what ended up happening is that I freaked myself out and I was staying up all hours of the night learning Camtasia. And then I had to back up and just say to myself, Like, that's not benefiting anything. And so this week I've hit it again, just being much more casual. And you know what? When I get the posts out, I get them out. But, you know, I'm trying to keep my live stuff consistent, and I'm chiseling away at it. You know, we can really, the one thing though is I have a book that I'm scheduling out every day in, and that is reducing kind of the stress of suddenly making this decision to do this type of content. So yeah, the planning definitely, but I would say, do we have to be so hard on ourselves about graphics and all of that stuff? Can we just be a little more casual?
That's a fantastic point, Lori. And sometimes we actually find that casual videos do better than those that feel staged, right? Grab your phone, write a video. Oh my God. Make a video and post it, right? To be fairly open with everybody here, I myself struggle with that. I am not of the generation that everything goes on video and everything's shared with the entire world. Given my technological background, as some of you know, my background is through computer science, educationally. I understand that everything that we put there stays out there, but it is, yeah, it is definitely something that it is the way of life, right? It is the way of life, and I had a coach that once told me it's better done. Something's better done than perfect, and that's it. And I know, Ben, I know you're working through this right now, and I think that suggestion or that that idea that Lori shared is very valuable on the fact that, you know what, just go for it. Just go for it. And this particular office hour is an example for me of that. I've been thinking about this since February, I think. And it took my business coach, Lily, she said, that's it, you're doing it this week. And I froze, right? I'm like, whoa, wait a minute here. I don't know what I'm doing. I have to do an email. I have to make sure I do graphics. I have to bring my DSLR to make sure that the background is built and the lights and everything. And then I'm lucky enough that I have a fantastic team with me. She was like, you know what? You do the video introducing the office hours, and if you can, get somebody else to post it, because I realized that my fear wasn't actually posting and sending. So I did the video. I loved it. And Bailey actually did the sending and the inviting. And that's how this ended up working. So yeah, then, like, I know you're working through this and working through building this online presence. Mm-hmm. And Lori, but that suggestion, Lori, of like, you know what, just do
just
it.
Give her. I know.
Yeah. You know what, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I don't know how you are, but for me, I'm sometimes of a perfectionist, right?
Yep.
And no, that video, you know, I've done videos over and over and over again, and then to come to a realization, I'm like, well, you know what, maybe people are going to see maybe the first 10 seconds, you know, and at the end of the day, it makes you more human, makes you more natural. Even if you make a mistake, even if you have your tummy grumbling in the middle of it,
or your cat meowing.
Yeah, or the cat meowing. That's it. That was right. That was yesterday in our meeting, of course.
Efren and I were in another group, and we just to kind of get over the hump on doing video. What we did we had just a small private Facebook group, and we just all decided that what we're going to do is every day we're going to each post a live to that small Facebook group, and that was basically because a bunch of us were really kind of trepidatious about putting video out there of ourselves and the whole process. And just through doing that and just committing to every day, we're just going to get on Facebook and do a Facebook Live to the group, small group of people that were all supporting each other. But it let you do the video. It let you kind of hear yourself on video. You can kind of catch some of those or, you know, if you say a lot or whatever, or, you know, all, you know, and so as you're watching yourself and watching the others and, you know, you feel more and more comfortable as you do it. And then eventually, you know, after doing that for a couple of weeks, we're all like super comfortable recording video of ourselves. And it really helped. So the point being is that it was just a matter of like, get over that initial hump of trying to have everything perfect and edited and graphics, and just do something and start putting it out there. And as you do that, you start falling into a little bit more comfort and get your own groove going with it, right?
Yeah. If I don't have anything posted by this next meeting next Wednesday, then or Thursday, you guys can all call me out on that. I have to have some sort of a deadline imposed on me. So
yeah, and Ben, if you want, we can do a meeting, go over what the actual, like, you know, just a one-on-one, go over the stuff that you're doing, and if you want, I can be your accountability partner, man. Absolutely. Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
For sure.
Why don't we?
Sorry, Angie, you were gonna say. Oh, there you go. Okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Ben. How about we book it now? What day are you gonna do it?
Oh God.
I like that.
And even not the booking, like just when you're done here with us, go do it. Like, like don't give yourself days. Just literally give yourself minutes.
I like that.
All right.
Actually,
that was actually my best video.
There you go.
Yeah. I have to post something.
I have
you
a
don't
question.
have to.
No, I'm just trying to. I'm gonna choose because I have always on my list of like the videos. I see I've planned it. I'm like, okay, I want to do a 30-second bite clip on this, and then I want to talk about this, and it's just like, but filming it, I'm like, oh no, I gotta do my logo animation first, and I gotta do some like all this other stuff, and it's like.
Yeah, and you know, Lori, before we go to your question, I know a lot of us know each other. I know a lot of us don't know Richard. Richard is actually a colleague / business partner of mine that's out in BC. He's a marketing extraordinaire himself. So yeah, thank you so much for joining, Richard. Appreciate it.
Hi, Richard.
Yes, Lori, you had a question.
Richard, is your background virtual or real?
Don't you love my office?
Your office is awesome.
Worked real hard to get this office.
The most amazing thing is that there's no echo. Being the room so big, like the microphone you must be using is amazing.
It's amazing.
We spent a lot of money on sound dampening.
Was that your question, Lori?
Yeah, it actually was.
Fair enough. Cool. So Angie, I know, sorry, we interrupted you a couple times. Did you have any questions, something that you want to go through right now that we can help you with?
No, I was going to make a comment earlier about how we're all fearful to do these types of things. And there's a term that I learned not too long ago, and it's called the imposter syndrome. So we are all, many of us, as I was going to say all of us, many of us suffer from this, where we're in front of people and we feel like people are judging us, and they're going to discover that we aren't really who we say we are or how smart we say we are, because we already have those negative connotations about ourselves, you know, that test that we failed when we were in grade 12, and all these things that we feel we've already judged ourselves upon. So when we're in front of people, we come with those failures, and we think that when we're boasting about ourselves, we're not really being true. So that's our judgment of ourselves. That's called the imposter syndrome. And the best way to overcome it is, well, you got to silence that little voice, those little demons that stand on our shoulder, and just do it.
And
so,
yeah,
anyhow.
that's a fantastic point, Angie. And I think if you guys haven't heard the term before, I think this is a situation that we've all, well, a lot of us have gone through. Something that helped me through that was trying to change the mindset and asking myself the question, well, how can I help?
Mm-hmm.
And if I set in my mind that I come from a place of contribution, then I find myself that I'm more easily having these conversations and putting myself out there because I'm actually contributing, I'm helping.
Yeah.
Right? Each and every one of us here has something, information that's very valuable, that even if you help just one person, right, it could make a big difference. Like, excuse me, Ben, in your industry, in the financial industry right now, right, there's so much going on, there's so much uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
I've spoken to you in person, and you have so much knowledge that you could be sharing with people, right? You have knowledge on building a team. You're a lecturer at a post-secondary institution. Like, there are so many things that you can share and contribute to people, that is a shame. And not only you, I'm not picking on you, man, of course, but it's a shame that sometimes we feel like we're feeling that imposter syndrome, and we don't actually put the information out there, right? And the other thing on that note that I've found is that it's okay not to know everything,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay not to know everything. It's okay to say, you know what, I'll get back to you on this. Like, I know Lori has put me on the spot a couple times here on stuff that I don't know, and I'm okay with that. But that actually led me into research. No, absolutely, Lori. But that actually led us into research, and to be able to try to answer those questions, right? So yeah, it's definitely something to think about. And the other thing that I found, at least in my personal experience, it's okay to be anxious. It's okay to be fearful. Those are natural emotions that we have as human beings. But use that energy to actually try to get us get through whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Ben,
Mm-hmm.
something just came to mind. So this is my personal experience. Financial planners or anything finance is intimidating, right? So is there some sort of a campaign that you could do, so to draw people in, that it's not intimidating? Like, I just wrote down just learning simple terms about the stock market, and because sorry, I just got a notification. I think that would, I think, would draw in some new people.
Yeah, and that's a
Like,
great idea. And that's actually funny. Like, that was my part of my plan of, like, breaking down the topics like we talked about. Like, I got presentations galore, right? About, or even like even Efren, or I think you were saying too, that I could even draw from all my lectures. I got like 12 weeks of like school lectures for my second year finance class too. Like, just introductory, every single slide, every single concept could be a 30-second clip. And that's what I was like, I have content for probably months and months, right? If I just did that, like, probably post
another thing that would
be
really beneficial as well with the financial planning side is that, obviously a lot of people, a lot of businesses right now are going through a lot of struggles, especially in Canada. There are a ton of different, programs being rapidly deployed by the government that all have different bearings on different people's situations from a financial aspect. And so taking some time to look at things from the basis of your understanding and your knowledge, and giving people some answers, and just kind of explaining some of how some of these things might impact them, or how they could benefit from things, like going with some really current temporal information about what's out there, what's happening in the economy, and giving, helping people to kind of feel better about, themselves, or giving them information that's going to be useful to them right now, would be huge as well.
I appreciate that, Richard. Yeah, I just don't want to be like another, like just another COVID update email or another COVID post, right?
For sure. But like Efren was saying, like, if we look at this from the standpoint of coming from a place of service, right? So you're like, there's a lot of people out there right now that are really scared, and that have a lot of really dire problems facing them, from a financial standpoint. And so what can I do as a financial planner that can help these people, right? And so if you look at it from, I'm not just being another COVID guy, I'm honestly drawing on my expertise and my experience to share information that I think is going to be beneficial. If you have any questions about stuff that you don't understand, a current program or something that's being rolled out, or if you qualify or not, I'm happy to and I may not have the answer, but I'm happy to help in any way that I can, and really approaching it from that standpoint of how can I best be of service given my knowledge and expertise. Because what happens is you build that that trust, that equity, and that bank of basically good karma with people, where you're like, hey, you know what,
That's right.
This guy is not just trying to sell me his services, he's legitimately looking at drawing on his background and expertise to try and help, right? And that really, A, that's a good thing, and B, that builds a lot of good equity and trust with people going forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
I'm also
that.
realizing that at the beginning, I thought that these videos had to be a certain length. They don't have to be long. They can be shorter, because that's what I was finding daunting too, is like, you're supposed to be an expert in your own field, and you get dribbling on, and then it just gets boring. Thank the heavens for editors on my phone, because there were chunks of it I took out, and I've just started to realize that they don't have to be super long.
Would doing an open door work for you, Ben? Because I'm actually thinking about it for myself.
Yeah, I know. It's even just like an idea, like what everyone's doing right now, right? Some sort of open office hours. I was kind of thinking about that. Like, obviously I read open office hours for my students, so why not open that up to other people as well, right? And
and even invite your students.
I was gonna say that too.
Right? Like you don't know. And sorry, I meant, Ben, I don't mean to pick on you today.
It's all good, man.
On the hot seat today, Mr. Ben Jacobs.
No, actually, it's kind of funny. I was about to send an email to while I still have access, anyways, to my students, because term's over now, right? And actually, I was the OSC, so the Ontario Securities Commission, actually put a restriction on my license while I'm teaching, so I can't actually advise my students.
Really?
While they are my students, yes. So my email was going to be, hey, it's April 1st, there's no final exam anymore, so term is technically over. I'm no longer your teacher. Now follow me on whatever. And like now I can help you, because I had some students who actually asked me especially after the stock market lesson, so to speak, and they were like, well, where would I get started on investing? Like, could you help me? And I'm like, I wish I could, not right now. Like, ask me again in a month. It's like, so yeah, after now, it's kind of funny, but yeah, I was just about to put that out. And actually, it's funny, now that term's over, a few of my students have actually today I got like 3 or 4 LinkedIn requests to connect with me. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine now that you're not my students. Sure, I can, push my content up to them. But yeah.
Stack the room, man. Stack the room with people
And to Laurie's point, and again, I think the theme for today that we keep going back to is we don't have to, but it would be great if we would be out there with the knowledge we have, helping as many people as we can go through these times. Right? I personally know each and every one of you in this room, and I know we're very positive people. I know we're very, we look at the glass half full, excuse me, all the time. I know we see the end of the tunnel. And from a personal human level, sometimes I think that's what people need. The amount of conversations I've had this last week and a half, literally back to back with people like gloom and doom, and it may actually happen, right? That we may be on this for a little bit longer than what we want to be. But as I mentioned the first time, I think we're going to come out of this very strong. I do believe that. If anything, I think this is different in many ways than the crisis that happened in 2008 that people are comparing it to. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, what happened then, and again, I'm not a financial person, but what I think happened then was that a lot of the stimulus went to corporations, and I feel like a lot of, at least following the president in the US, right? A lot of stimulus is going to people now, and not necessarily corporations. So anyways, I do think that coming out strong, I do think that maybe having this positive outlook that I know we all have in life can actually be helpful for some people in there. And again, just that theme, right? Let's get her done.
I was gonna say, you're just gonna send me the Nike swoosh. Just do it.
Yeah, there's just do it. and Ben talking about that, and I know, Lori, I still have to hop onto some of your shows.
Yeah.
You have like 5 shows a week now. You're on mute. I mean,
I have 2 lives.
Okay.
And definitely, and then I'm trying to do some screen recording content. So
Okay.
I'm working through it, and I'm stumbling my way through it. So yeah.
Well, yeah, I saw. So I heard you had a little another snag in there, a little blip.
Yes. Oh, my first coffee chat, great designer. The internet dropped in the middle of the segment. Thus, I was not able to, and it was Instagram Live that I was using at the time. And Instagram Live did not give me the down arrow to save. So I then was like, I'm not losing this. So I madly was researching, how do I replay the live and save it? And I kept trying it with my iPhone, but I kept getting pop-ups and phone calls in the middle, and the talk was actually quite lengthy. So I ended up taking like the SIM out of my phone, shutting everything down, and actually recording it via QuickTime Player on my laptop.
Okay. Yeah.
Which then gave me a 4.5 gig file. So I actually beat it last night at 10, 11 o'clock because I found a way to compress it, and then I converted it into a 180p, and then I airdropped it to my phone, and I chopped it up.
Well, you know what? Kudos to you for going through that entire process. Well done.
You figured it out.
Absolutely.
I don't know what she just said. But
Angie's like, where did you plug in the VHS tape? I don't understand.
Hey.
Way to go. Yeah, that's about it, Ben. Oh my God.
Yeah, I keep calling it a VHS player, and I forgot. I'm like, oh yeah, it's actually called a VCR. That's how
Right.
Wow.
That's funny. But yeah, do you guys have
Cool.
any other questions or any other comments? I know Victoria has been listening quietly in the background.
I was gonna say, where's the Petty John team? I know you guys want to get on this.
Victoria?
She's probably shaking her head at
Oh.
her mom.
I'm not sure she has audio actually on her
Oh,
laptop.
okay. So yeah, like what?
Yeah, she has
a
no
mic.
mic.
Oh.
Yeah, she doesn't have a mic.
I hope she realized that before she was actually speaking, because otherwise that would be funny.
Yeah. Well, if she was at home self-isolating with her mother, she would have a mic. So.
Ah, okay. No comment there. But Victoria, having said that, if you have any questions, you can actually type them in the chat, and we can read them. I don't know if anything's coming through yet. But Angie, is there anything we can help you with? Any questions you may have? Something that we can do?
For me, it just is to get over the fear and just do it. Like Ben said, just do it. Ben and I had a great conversation the other day. I have amazing content, so many presentations that I can just take snippets out of, use it as a post, and really getting organized versus being reactionary right now. And I find that that's where we're at again. You know, we've become reactionary with our posts. So putting it on as a priority. Victoria asks, is that you?
Do you use Canva for creating content, or do you use another program? So yes, we use Canva for and Angie, I'll address that in a second.
Yeah, no worries.
But yes, to answer Victoria, we use Canva. And we've actually recently switched, or are switching our clients to Relay That. It's a little tool that we've talked
you
about.
Mentioned that last time.
Yeah, we talked about it here a couple times. It's still an AppZumo, limited lifetime deal. I think it was like $48 right now. And I know Bailey's transferring our clients there. We found it easier to be able to brand everything, and then it just automatically does all the sizes and stuff. I know Richard uses that on his side as well. And I know he's a very big fan of that. So yeah, it's Relay That. Yep. And Victoria, just so you know, and everybody knows, well, those of you who have been here before, we actually send a summary email at the end with a lot of the links and stuff, just so you guys have it in your thing. Yeah. But yeah, that's it, Victoria. You can actually find it in AppZumo right now.
So, Efren, you're saying being too complicated using Adobe Photoshop and Premiere Pro and trying to learn those? Yeah, I have them on my computer. I got to use
like
them.
me and the Camtasia.
Unless you're drawing amazing energy and pleasure out of doing that for your own sake. Yeah, that's probably a little bit of an overkill. Absolutely. There you go. And yes, Angie, to your point, I actually had an amazing session with my business coach this morning. It's somebody from Kelly's team, actually, who I speak to on a weekly basis. And I myself am finding exactly in your same position, right? Where I'm becoming, the last few weeks, I've been very reactionary without able to plan. And something that was put into my perspective was, if you, and I knew this because we do this for our social media, but for my own activities, if we take a few hours to actually time block or plan or be very intentional about what it is that we want to do, we're going to be more intentional in the conversations we have with people, right? For example, for me, it's the fact that I have, I don't know, 6 chat platforms, like 4 screens, things happening all the time, and I'm literally jumping from one to the other. So I'm going to be more intentional in trying to focus on something. And that goes back to sort of what you were saying in terms of your content, right? So maybe if you have a chance this weekend, it's a long weekend, I know, but if you have a chance to do a couple hours, and as simple as, here, let me share this again. Like, it doesn't have to be complex, right? We can simplify the process, and as simple as this, and you know what, we'll send you guys this Google document as well, so you have it for your reference. But as simple as, you know what, Monday, what date is Monday?
Monday.
April 14th? Okay. You know what, as simple as Monday, April 14th, 16th. 13th, there you go. As simple as, you know what, Monday, April 13th, we are going to, let's do something for engagement. And I'm going to do this for Angie right now, engagement. Because we are going to do a short video. I can't type anymore today, but we're going to do a short video that discusses why not to panic if you can't reach your bank. Which, by the way, I was on hold with my bank for like 3 hours, and I actually hung up the other day. And Angie, I don't know if this is something that your clients or your audience is looking for right now. I would imagine so, because they want somebody to talk to, right? And something as simple as that. And you put that in your calendar, whatever it is that you have, and now you at least have a list, a plan, or a guideline.
I thought you were giving homework. I'm like, okay, he's going to put mine next. He's going to schedule me in for Monday and choose my topic as well.
But this, or at least we find, and again, we manage different accounts for different people, right? For different brands, different customers, different industries. But this keeps us on track, right? This keeps us on track. It keeps our clients on track because we can tell them, we need a short video about this, right? But in your cases, it will tell you, I need a short video before April 13th. and I'm going to talk about this. Shoot it, upload it, and let the conversations happen.
Love it.
Yeah. Okay.
That sounded just as confident as I am. Yeah. Okay.
So, and same thing, Angie, I'm going to tell the same thing that I told Ben. If in any way I can help being your accountability partner for this, you know what, we can jump on a call, 15 minutes, set up your schedule, or you can have your schedule set up and you're going to tell me this is what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do. And that's that. I don't know if your accountability partner is Victoria or not. I don't know if that works. Sometimes within our own companies or within our own teams, that may not work. Depends on the dynamic. But yeah, I would absolutely be your accountability partner.
Okay. That sounds good. Oh yeah, I thought it was muted.
Any other questions?
Oh, just thanks to you and Richard for chiming in, and everybody else too. Happy to continue to supporting you all. And as you saw, I shared a bunch of your stuff today, so I'll continue to do that. If you guys provide me the details, I'll continue to do that. And Lori, I wasn't sure which one to share because your images are dated, so I didn't want to share a graphic that has a specific date on it or one that says like tomorrow.
Okay, I will take that into thought the next time I'm doing that.
Create like something that's more evergreen. That's just like
evergreen content. There you go.
Yeah. And Wednesdays at 10 a.m. and then I can just share it, right?
Can I ask your opinion? Mm-hmm. Am I on?
You are.
Oh, okay. Our mortgage market update, should I remove COVID-19? Like, I know we've said it's kind of like overdone or whatever. Should I just say this mortgage, it's a market update?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like, I think anything with the label with the COVID-19, I think automatically for people right now has a negative connotation. That's just my opinion. Okay. I see nodding heads though. So I think people just don't want, oh, is this another like, here's the death toll or here's more delays or economic impact. It's more like, hey, what are we going to do to adapt, right? And that's why even with our power team, I know Efrain can support, like when we named our little webinar that we're doing within BNI in a couple of weeks, that it's just like, it's not about like what to do in COVID-19. It's just like, hey, powering business through these times. It's just like, it's alluding to the same thing, but it's not, it has more of a positive spin to it, which I think we all need more of that. So. Okay.
Well, we sent our email out already inviting everybody, but we'll keep that in mind for the next one then.
Yeah. And I just got my CRM up, so I'm going to blast out your stuff to to my network too as a resource. So hopefully we get some joiners there too.
We're going to have a post going out.
No, I have used ActiveCampaign in the past. I'm using, again, compliance regulatory thing. Our company has something that's compliantly approved. So I unfortunately, ActiveCampaign is not compliant. Otherwise I would totally be using that. Yeah. So.
Sorry, Angie, what were you saying?
I think I was saying we were going to put a post out for that market update. So we'll make sure we'll take it off of the posts on social media.
Yeah.
And if you can, I don't know if any proprietary information is going to be shared, Angie, but are you running the Zoom meeting?
It's from our head office.
Okay. Is head office going to record it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So make sure you get a copy so you can post it on your Facebook page. Even if it's a 40-50 minute video, you'll be amazed how much people actually do it. And I think you also have YouTube. Bailey? John, do they have YouTube? Okay. Anyways, but yeah, even if you just put it on, no, I don't think we have YouTube. Yeah. No, I don't think you have YouTube either, Victoria. If you want to create one, but even if you just throw it on Facebook on your page, you'll be surprised how much content people are consuming. Even if you think that an hour-long video people may not watch, when it's a topic that interests people, they'll definitely watch.
Okay.
And, boom, you can actually draw people to your page with it, right? You can send a follow-up email sequence after that saying, hey, listen, if you're not able to catch us, catch the replay. We have our video on our Facebook page. Here's the link.
Okay. Got it.
All right.
By the way, I'm loving these guys. I appreciate every single one of you, every opinion, every thought, the good energy. I definitely do, and loving this this brainstorming idea.
It is
Yes.
fantastic.
Yes, Victoria. Unsplash is one of those places where you can get stock images from. Absolutely. We use Unsplash. We use, actually, Billy has been telling me that we're using Canva now a lot to download pictures because they have a lot of stock pictures as well. And if you go to AppZumo, I think they have stock images unlimited as well for like $50, unlimited images.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, unless anybody has any other questions or remarks, I may call it a day today.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you all of you again. Thank you for your input. Stay safe.
Thank
If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to help in any way I can. And Angie and Ben, I'm going to follow up with you in a little bit to see, yeah, to check, put that list together.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you again. And
Hey guys, thank you.
bye. Have a good one.
You too.
You too.
See you later.